Okay, all right, everybody. I'm back with a brand new lesson, and yeah, this time I got a request inside the members forum from Jake, and Jake said, okay, he wants to learn a little bit more about Dust and how Joseph, which is a really good artist and also a really good V-Ray artist, um, how Joseph did create this and how we can recreate this and stuff like that. So what I can see first of all is there is a lot of dirt going on, of course, in this picture. So a lot of dust and a lot of displacement. So the wall here in the back is for sure displacement, and he probably did use an HRI. I can't imagine that he did model the complete room. But as you can see here in the reflection, this is probably some kind of window. So I think he was probably using an indoor HDRI, which is absolutely fine. Yeah, he was here. He was probably searching for some nice. Oh, sorry about that. For some nice wood textures, and yeah, I think the modeling is here pretty basic. So nothing really special. I think just a lot of displacement, maybe some bump mapping, and some other stuff going on. The rest is pretty much straightforward. Also, the liquid inside of the bottle is not really that hard. I think the only thing that is missing here is maybe a little bit of caustics. I'm not even sure if it really would throw caustics there. Maybe here a little bit. Maybe he didn't have the settings so high inside of Octane. I can't really tell, to be honest, but we can check it out on our own. And here we have the second shot that he created as well. As you can see, I think the exact same technique is going on here that is used here in this picture. So I think doesn't really matter which one of those two we try to recreate. I mean, we will never get there 100% because I'm not 100% sure. First of all, which bottle this is. I have no clue which HRI he used. I have no clue where he did find those textures. So it will be kind of hard for us to recreate this to 100%, of course. But we will try to, I will try at least to show you the techniques to how we can get there. So yeah, let's jump into Cinema 4D, and I did already download a bottle picture. So we'll just simply switch here into the front view and go options, configure, into the back, and we'll load a background image. So we'll. Okay, alright. So let's get started here. Let's take the pen tool and let's set the type here to cubic. I think this will be just fine for this bottle here. And let's start to draw out some points. I think also the first point should really sit at 0, 0, 0, or not really at 0, 0, at least in the X at 0. But we can fix this later on if you want to. So let's just simply try to paint this as good as we can. Let's see that we make here a straight line, because I don't really think the shot is completely straight up onto the bottle. So we might have to think here a little bit on our own. So let's try to make this as straight as we can up here. And let's bring it down here a little bit like this. Nope. That was definitely not it. Let's maybe make this smaller here, the next point. So we don't get so much bending. Okay, we get a lot of bending anyway. Okay, we can fix this point later on, so there should be no problem whatsoever. Now we can just simply go and make this happen here. Just set a few points. Go down here. Maybe right here. Here. We don't need to make this absolutely perfect, because this tutorial is really all about the dust, but I also want to show you how you can easily create all kind of bottles. You also don't have to take my bottle. You can just simply go on Google, search for any bottle where you can find a straight up shot, and yeah, take it and just simply model this one instead of mine. That's just fine, because the technique for the dust and all the other stuff will be just simply the same. This will be no problem whatsoever. Okay, and let's see. I think we can go down really straight here now. Let me just see that I make a straight line here. Alright, and then we'll just simply try to make this this curve here. Let's maybe wow, what is going on here? Okay. Let's try it like this. Okay. No, don't do that to me, please don't. Okay, I will just simply try to fix this later on, and we can stop right here. Okay, now we'll try to fix some points, because this point here is definitely not something that is satisfying. So let's go into point mode here, and let's see if we can move this around here somehow. Move this point up here, like this, and then like this. And then we'll just simply try to get this shape here that we're looking for. Let's maybe bring this up here a little bit, and this one we definitely want to bring up. This one we might even can delete this point, yeah, and I think we have kind of a basic bottle shape here, maybe like this. And I think I want to bring up this one as well a little bit, like this. Yeah, okay, I think like this it's just fine. Okay, so we have our basic bottle shape, even though this is not absolutely perfect yet. Okay, and we also have a problem here going on, so we need to bring this point down here. Okay, that's good. Looking way better now. Let me see here the X value. X is 256.59. We don't really care about real world scale right now. We will scale this down later on. So while we're in the modeling process, we don't really care about this right now. And I think I had to fix this up here, yes. Okay, so let's bring this down here a little bit. Bring this point maybe a little bit more upwards. So we get here a little bit more of a straighter line. That's kind of weird. Let's maybe bring it down like this. And like this. Yeah, let's bring this in here a little bit. Bring it down. Bring this up. Yes. Okay, way better now, I think. Let's maybe bring this point up here a little bit as well, and let's push this like this. This one a little bit more downwards. Yeah. Okay, I think we're fine like this. We don't need to make it perfect, but I think we will be good enough. And let's see where this point sits, because this one should really sit at 0 here, x0. So let's set this here to 0, and also do this here with the other endpoint. Let's set this here to 0 as well. Okay, alright, so we can jump into our viewport. So we have half of the bottle now. But what we can do now is just simply jump in here, take a latte NURBS, put the spline in there, and as you can see, bada boom, bada bam, we have our bottle created. Even though it's not absolutely perfect yet, but nobody said we want to have a perfect bottle at this point. So we can still change a lot of stuff here. I just want to have a little less subdivisions, because I want to try this with a sub-D modeling technique later on anyway. And let me maybe also here in the spline get a little bit rid here of the angle. As you can see, this also takes away a lot of polygons, and I don't want to have so many polygons if I'm throwing this into a subdivision surface anyway. So let's hit the C key on the latte and let's make this editable. And let's get rid, of course, of this thing up here, because we don't need this. The bottle should be open up there. And also I want to have here the bottom, we can take this point, go select loop selection, select all this stuff, hit the V key, the W key on our keyboard, or was it the E key? E key, sorry. And so we get the move tool, move this here a little bit up, maybe even a little bit more. Let me jump into right mode so I can see a little bit better what's going on, and let's try to align those points as good as we can. Maybe let's even push it a little bit inwards, maybe like this. That's probably what's happening with a bottle. So yeah, maybe let's make another cut here, knife, loop cut. We make another cut here, so that this line really stays here, and so we're only pushing this inward thing here a little bit more upwards like this, maybe even a little bit more, maybe like this. Yeah, might look cool in the end shot. And let's drop in a subdivision surface, and let's drop the latte in, and let's see what we get. And as you can see, the model starts to get way more rounder here. And okay, this is not perfect yet, but that's okay. Never said we want to have a complete duplicate. I mean, you could still scale this out in all kind of directions. So let's scale the latte here a little bit like this. Yeah, and I think now we're fine. The only thing that I don't really like is this opening here, so we definitely have to change this here a little bit. First of all, let me get rid of this here. I think this is just way too much. And then we go into point modes, go right click optimize, Control A, right click optimize, so we get rid of all the points that we don't want to use. And then we just simply scale this in here a little bit. Whoops. Whoopsie whoopsie. Okay. Scale this in, and let's bring this down. like this. Yes, sir. And yeah, we have some kind of bottle here. I think that's looking good. That's pretty nice. Okay. So yeah, let's bring the bottle up here a little bit, and also let's try to make it some kind of a real world scale. I mean, I don't really know how big such a bottle is right now, but let's say, I don't know, let's say 20 centimeters. I mean, maybe too big, maybe too small. Let's maybe go for 25. Maybe then it's too big, but in the end we are pretty close. As you can see here, the numbers are really shrinking. In the end we are really close to a real world scale, I would say. And in the Y I would really not go higher than maybe 25, 30 centimeters, something like that. Let's go maybe for 25. And let's bring this down here. Really to the floor. So we kind of aligning this to the Cinema 4D floor, so it's not, I don't know, flying around in the air. It's always good when we keep it somehow here. Okay, now I'm not allowed to move anymore, it seems like. And if you ever run into this problem that you zoom just in way too much, something like that, you can always go, no matter where you are, just select an object in your scene and go View, Frame Geometry, and Cinema 4D will let you jump exactly there, and it should also fix the zooming problems that you might run into from time to time inside of Cinema 4D. Okay, so let's bring this down. And let's maybe create a floor, something like this, just plain. I think this plane might be just fine, and let's see if the bottle is not really hitting. Because the thing is, we're working now with glass, and as soon as we start to work with glass, the problem is really, no matter if you're using V-Ray or Octane, as soon as something is intersecting, if you have a plastic material or something like that, where you have no shine through, or a metal material and something is intersecting, and the viewer doesn't really see it that it's intersecting, it doesn't really matter. But with glass, an intersection can really cause a lot of problems with different things. With the refraction, with the reflection, and so on. Maybe the glass looks completely messed up. So make sure that your glass thing is always aligned really good. Okay, let's deal with the floor for now, and I think we need to make a few cuts since we're in sub-D modeling mode right now. I think I want to have a little bit more of a sharper edge right here, so just simply go there and make a sharper edge here, so make a cut here. And I think I also want to have here on the inside a little bit of a sharper cut. Maybe like this, yes, and also here in the middle maybe also, yeah. I think this looks pretty good. Maybe another cut here, something around here, so this even have a little bit more of an harder edge here. And we could do the same thing maybe here for this part right there. Maybe make another cut here. Inside this already looks pretty good, but we could also do this up here if we want to. Maybe this looks a little bit too hard. I should really keep some roundness here. This can be a little bit harder down here. This wouldn't really matter. I think that's fine. I think that's just fine. Yeah, and I liked it. Okay, so let's turn back on our plane. Okay, as you can see, we have changed a little bit of the geometry because of the cutting, so we have to move this upwards a little bit again. And we can also give this overall here a little bit more subdivisions, maybe bring it up to 3 in the viewport as well. And I think this should give us enough roundness now to really have a nice bottle shot. So first of all, what we always should do, and as you should do and I should do, and so on and so on, we should definitely save our projects as much as we can. So let me just simply save this here right now. And yeah, let's just jump into Octane and let's see what we get. So yeah, it's just a basic bottle. Let's add an HDRI environment and let's maybe search for some kind of indoor HDRI. I will point you to some indoor HDRI later on, so you can get this HDRI as well. I think I will just simply go with this one. I think this is a free one, so you can download it as well. And has a little bit of a yellow lighting. Maybe let's go a little bit. No, I think it's fine. It might be just fine. We have to check this out later on. I just want to have some basic lighting in the scene so I really know what's going on. Let's maybe set up a camera as well already. Let's just make it like this. Okay. And Let me set up here a little bit of a lighting. Maybe we need another cut right here. I think this would be good. First of all, sorry. Let me create a camera and let me deactivate it here in the viewport so I'm not seeing it. Maybe I want to have another cut right here. This might not hurt here on this thing, so it's not so round right here. Maybe this looks cool, maybe not. I'm not even sure if this will be working. Probably not. No, okay, forget about it. Wrong thought on my part. So if we would create now a basic glass material, there are a few things that can happen. First of all, I don't hope that Octane crashed on me. Nope, it didn't. Perfect. So let's go create shaders in order the Octane material. Material type specular, and glass really can range from 1.52 to 1.6. I mean, I normally take 1.6. I think that's a pretty good value. Some people go lower, like I said, still down to 1.52. This is really also a matter of taste. And as you can see here, it doesn't really look too good. I mean, there looks like what is going on in there. I have no clue what is this black thing here. Why do we get here some chrome thing, some really crazy refraction is going on. Everything looks kind of crazy. This isn't really good. So what is happening here is that we don't have, and let me check this quickly here. If we jump into poly mode and let me go into crowd shading so I don't see all those lines. Or maybe let me go into, no, poly mode is just fine. Is that we don't have any thickness to this object yet. This object is just simply completely flat. So we have no thickness whatsoever, and this is why we also get all those strange refraction and reflection. What do I know? I mean, basically bad refraction. So this doesn't really look good. So what we can do, if we come from a Latin herbs and just modeled our bottle, is there's a nice little trick. We can go simulate class and go class surface, and put this closed surface in the subdivision surface and the latte into the closed surface. And in the closed surface, there you can also give this whole bottle subdivisions, but I already getting more subdivisions here from my subdivision surface. So I'm just simply clicking this down here to 0, so I don't want to have more subdivisions, but I want to have some thickness, and this is really what we want to have from this closed surface. So what we can do here is to simply go thickness and maybe type in 0.1 centimeter. As you can see, this whole thing starts to get really thickness, and this is kind of nice. So, and now we can check the render again, and as you can see, it already looks much better. And as more thickness we give this whole thing, the better it will. It will not really look better, but it will just simply look different. Right now it looks like kind of thin glass, as you can see, maybe a little bit too thin, to be honest. So let's maybe try it here with something like 0.2. And let's maybe go extreme, let's maybe go 1 centimeter so you can see really the difference. And as you can see now, we really have 1 centimeter thickness. And as you can see, they're also starting to getting a little bit of problems inside of Octane. We're already starting to getting some bad refraction again. So what we can do, first of all, let me switch this here to path tracing. Sorry about that. But the refraction doesn't really change much, so we really still have some problems going on. Is here in the kernels, we can change the ray epsilon. And if you're getting some troubles with glass, I would just simply say add another 0 here. And this can also help to get rid of this problem. Maybe add another 0 if this doesn't help. And if this doesn't help, delete those 2 zeros we just added and delete another one and see what we get now. It seems like the problem is really now that this bottle is just simply too thick, or we have a problem here with the closed surface. So what I could try is, first of all, okay, as you can see, 1 centimeter was way too much. We're getting some really weird results here already. So we just simply have to go down here with the thickness, maybe to 0.5. Let's see what we get here. This is still already too much. We're getting here some really weird results, I think. But it doesn't even look too shabby. And it's not completely messed up. So it's already starting to look like a really cool bottle. Even thought, I'm not sure what's happening here. This is probably a modeling mistake of mine, so I probably would need to fix that. So 0.1. It's probably not enough thickness. But about this ray epsilon thing, really, if you think you have everything modeled right and stuff like that, and it's still not working, just simply try to add another 0 and then another 0 to ray epsilon and see if that helps, because it helped me a lot in the past as well to get rid of some really big issues. I think what I should try here, what was my mistake, is just simply, let's get rid of the thickness first of all. I should really delete this ring up here. So let's go select loop selection and let's select just simply this ring up here and let's delete it, and then let's just simply scale this in here. And as soon as we get thickness to this bottle, this should also, yeah, then we get something like this, as you can see. So 0.5 might be just fine, and now we have really our bottle, and this should look really good. So as I said, a simple modeling mistake right here. Let's reload this just to make sure that everything is updated, and let me also push this here so we can see a little bit better what's going on. So don't always have to throw this window around here. Yeah, so our bottle doesn't look too shabby, but I think this is going now inwards. What we also could try, we can also go into a minus value here, so minus 1.5, then it's just simply going outwards. And as you can see, this is giving us some really strange results, but just want to show you this is possible. So let's make this closed surface editable. So we are really giving this thickness here to the geometry, and let's put it back into the subdivision surface. And let's check one important thing. Let's see how our normals are aligned. As you can see, here they are all yellow, and let's see if they're in the inside yellow as well. So yes, they are. I'm not 100%. I mean, it's working right now, so we don't have to change anything here. In V-Ray, it might be that you have to get the inside and really make here a reverse normal. So let me show this quickly. Let's see what kind of result we are getting. Probably some kind of weird result if it's already working inside of Octane. Because every single render engine, when it's rendering glass, or if it's rendering glass, diamonds, and so on, refraction, reflection, and so on, they really need to know, okay, how thick is this thing? So how does the refraction look? How much centimeters do I have to go through, or how much millimeters do I have to go through? So I can really calculate where the geometry starts on the outside and where the geometry ends on the inside. And this is something that we have to show every single render engine all the time, because otherwise we're getting some really weird results with glass and so on and so on. So this is not really what we want. So yeah. So I think this is all selected. Let me see if I did select anything else. No, I don't think so. But I think it's right like that. As you can see, the inside here of this thing is blue. The only problem that we have is here. Maybe this is a little bit overlapping, which I don't really like, to be honest. We can change this here, because this will give us maybe some weird results here. Okay, but first of all, let's go reverse normals and let's see what's happening if I turn this all blue there on the inside. Now we're getting a much thicker bottle with a really this might be even. Yeah, I don't think this looks. I mean, it looks really thick. That's for sure. Let me play with the ray epsilon. Let me add another 0 here. Okay. I'm not 100% sure if Octane really needs to handle like this, but I think the reflection and the reflection looks kind of weird. So if we go back and look at the old shots, I think this looks way more realistic than this one. Even so, here we're getting way more thickness in this bottle. Let me get rid of the plane, because this is also giving me some reflection. I mean, this bottle looks really heavy now. If we look at it from the bottom, let me see what's happening when we go back before we did this reverse normal thing. Let me get rid of the plane and let me look down here. No, that's definitely realistic. Okay, so I think we can just simply leave it like that. And we could try to fix here a little bit on the inside. So we leave it like this, so we're not reversing the normals here. You might have to do it in V-Ray, but we will check this out in the V-Ray part. And I will just try to move here some stuff. Sweet mother of Bejeebus, what is happening here? Let me just try to get rid here of this complete polygon. Yes, and also here, please. Nope. This one, please, yes. And this one, please. Oh man, let me deactivate the subdivision surface for now, otherwise I run crazy, I think. Okay, we can delete this, and now we could try to pull this together. Let's go select loop selection, select all those points and all those points, and then we can try to stitch and sew. This should bring all points together. Yes, it does. Okay, and now this should also look better. Let's turn back on the subdivision surface and let's see what we get, and I think we are now way better than before. Yes, we are. Okay, that's pretty good. I think we have our bottle now. Let me check the normals once again. Whoop. Oh man, do I now need to select all normal? No, I think we're just fine with this bottle. We will see it later on. Now this bottle looks okay. I think we're good. And we can also give it some color, of course. We could go here to the transmission and say, okay, let's be a brown bottle, like in Joseph's shot or something like that. So a really dark brown bottle. Maybe something like this. That's maybe way too brown already. Maybe go a little bit like this. Yep, doesn't look too bad. Okay. And let's activate the plane again. And let's maybe make some kind of close-up shot like this. We can also up the ray depth here a little bit, specular depth. Specular depth, maybe it's up to 24. Let me delete here 1, 0. Okay, alright, here it's still noisy, here it's completely clean, which is kind of weird, I think. This is probably where the HDRI is hitting and where the plane is. It doesn't really, isn't really so fast. Okay, but anyway, I think we're good with this bottle, and now we can try to add some dust, of course, and this is really what this tutorial is really all about, not about the glass, not about the rest, but I really thought I'd tell you a little bit something about glass as well while I'm on it. So yeah, I think this can't hurt, to be honest. Okay, so I will end this chapter here right now. This was like now the little introduction of modeling the bottle and so on, so you can skip this part if you already know that stuff and not really interested in it. And yeah, and in the next part we will just simply start with the dust.